So good evening, all. Welcome to Your Blissful Journeys, Alchemy of Healing, where we investigate combining nature's remedies and the healing power of your own body. Sally here, and I wanted to let you know that anybody you hear, unless I say differently, on this show are not doctors. They will not be diagnosing. Only you can make the decisions for you. You always have the free will, whether to accept or reject what you hear. You get to decide. That's very important. And that is something that Bob and I were just talking about, and it's like, it's so great when you're talking with somebody and you're hearing the same words. I'm hearing the same words that I say out of his mouth, only said like Bob would say them. He said, the client's always in control. And so many times we go to people who are saying, I can fix that, or, take this, do that, and without giving us the choice. And so many times we give up our power. And I'm not saying don't listen to people you trust and don't follow advice that sounds good to you. And if you've done your research and everything, but just don't buy everything hook, line, and sinker. And I'm even talking about what I say, because listen to what your intuition and your gut is telling you. And when you're connected with yourself, you will never steer yourself wrong. So I wanted to introduce our guest speaker tonight, our guest presenter. It's Bob Souliere. He's a local guy. His dad, 2 kids. One just went off to college, if I'm not mistaken, right?
That's true.
And very exciting time. Bob mentioned to me that he was excited to hear his superpower is that he doesn't have a superpower. And I really liked that, how he said that, because, he wants us to look at him like nothing special. And it's true, we're all human, we're just different. And I did like that. And a little celebration, I'm going to pat Bob on the back. This weekend, he is being interviewed as a CrossFit success story. So I know that you guys are going to be excited to learn about the power of your breath. I mean, that's the first thing we do when we're born, and it is the end of our lives as well. So in the middle, we get to decide. And so Bob's going to give us some pointers and some tips and techniques to have us connecting to our power through breath. So take it away, Bob.
All right. Hey, guys. Well, welcome. This is awesome. So glad to be on here. And it's just great to see everybody. And Sally, thank you so much. Just thank you for inviting me. It's a great honor and to meet all of you. I think we'll have some fun tonight. So the idea here is what I'm going to be doing simply is getting to know you a little bit, finding out what your thinking is on your breath, on breathing, introduce the whole notion of breathing and its power, self-control, and some of the various benefits of specifically, one type of breathing, of the Wim Hof breathing. Take you through that experience to feel it. Feeling is really understanding, as Wim would say, and then talk about how you felt, how that feels, and ask and answer questions, and maybe expand from there. So that's really the idea here, is simply to give you an introduction. And as Sally said, and I will always, you'll hear me say this so many times, you're always in control of everything that we do. And I'll emphasize that as we go through the breathing part. Also, if whatever we would do doesn't feel comfortable to you, then you just don't do it. Sometimes in the work I do, the only thing that I give people is an awareness of their breath, and that's a huge gift. So, I mean, if you think about in life, it certainly took me until, so I mean, I tell in my story that, you know, at 35 years old, my wedding, during our honeymoon, my wife and I went to a spa in Rock, North Carolina, and we had this 80-year-old yoga instructor who said to us, you know, the most important thing you'll ever learn is to breathe. And I thought, well, that's crazy. I know how to do that. I'm doing that right now. That's like breathing. Breathe. We all breathe. What's the big deal? What she didn't tell us is this, that your breath is the remote control of your nervous system. And your nervous system is how you experience life. So there's a direct line. So when you are feeling, when you, the sensations, whatever those are of your life, whatever that they, either you don't feel in control, this doesn't feel right, you have no way of controlling it, you know, like you make me feel a certain way, life makes me feel a certain way, I don't have control over these things. My answer to you is that you actually do, and you're carrying it in your body. That ability is directly tied to your, literally to your diaphragm. Your diaphragm is built like a gas pedal to control how you feel. It's built that way. There are only two things in your body that are designed to control your state: your eyes and your diaphragm. Your eyes have, it's actually part of your brain. It's the last three layers of your retinal cells are brain cells, literally extruded from your brain, and they say, wake up. It's just for arousal. And then your diaphragm says, how fast? It says, oh, should we go hard? Should we go soft? Should we go easy? How should we go? So those are the things that control your experience. I didn't know that. You didn't tell me that. So I didn't know.
Yeah.
So anyways, I am, yeah, like Sally said, I'm a regular dude who lives in the neighborhood, who's decided to go on a journey. And I have two beautiful, you know, high school, college age kids, and my wife who works at Mom's. If you are in the area, you know Mom's. And we've been here for 30 years, and I work in a corporate job, and I've driven to work, you know, many, many years. And there's nothing particularly special about that at all in terms of, you know, lifestyle. But my wife and I realized as we were raising our kids, who had some learning issues and some delays in development, that we needed to wake up and figure out what was going on. So we looked at many different modalities, you name it, and you know, looked at co-housing, looked at every kind of anti-inflammatory thing, every sort of biofeedback mechanism, trying to, you know, get lots of testing and so on. And as we went down those paths, we realized there are things we can control that we didn't think we could control. And one of those things is how we feel about life. So as we go through this, I call this the party trick that opens your heart. And so everything that we're doing is very trivial and small, but that's important because it opens your heart. Your heart is the thing that really is telling you whether your life is right, on track and coherent, or it needs a change. And if we can learn to hear that, you can make these changes. You can get those subtle signals, and you can start to make those changes before we go from ease to dis-ease to disease. You can say, wait, this doesn't feel right. I'm going back toward ease. And so I am just putting you in touch with the power of the thing that can control how you feel. There are other ways. This is not like Sally says, this is like, you know, 1,000 ways of changing your state. You know, you can also do food and, you know, exercise and drugs and alcohol and sex and, you know, television and any other stimulus that people use, you know, including play and singing and so on. They're all wonderful. The one of them that is on board with you all the time, though, is your breathing. Everything else is there. It's all there. You can use it all, but you carry one of them with you, and that's your breathing. And that's the thing that brings you across your whole life. And that's what drew me to all this work. Last anecdotal thing here. When I became an instructor, and I'll explain who WIM is in a moment, but it's a rigorous process of cold exposure and breathing and being up in the mountains in Colorado, and it's very it's pretty demanding. I mean, it's not like SEAL training or anything, but it takes a lot out of a person who hasn't been through any particular other training. And after a week of this, you're pretty, used up and worn out and feeling very strong at the same time. And we were around this fire on the mountain and passing a stick. It's like a talking stick. And when it was my turn, it came to me, and I said, I finally know how to help. All these years of watching people suffer with chronic diseases, the only thing I could tell them was find a doctor or take a pill. And I didn't feel like I had any role. And if you are in a crisis, and to me, that felt like a crisis, you need a role. People need a role in a crisis. What do? So when we don't have that, we shut down. And shutting down is hell. Don't do it. Don't shut down. You need to stay alive and go big. We need you. So I was definitely heading down the shutting down path, and it was not good. And I realized I finally knew how to help people. And all I became was just a pointer to say, look at your breath, just look. I mean, I'm not like a genius or anything. I'm just pointing. I'm just saying, here's what you have in your control. Let me just remind you who you actually already are. There's no, you already have these gifts. So all I'm doing is showing you what you have. So that's my story. I began down this path with CrossFit, as Sally mentioned. That was the first thing that really broke things open for me. And then I moved to Wim Hof stuff, which is the ice and breathing stuff, cold exposure to wake your body up and wake your mind up. And then I moved to Oxygen Advantage, which is more functional breathing, and Buteyko, which is also therapeutic functional breathing. And we can talk about those a little bit more later. But tonight, I want to take you into the experience of Wim Hof breathing. And so I want to know from you guys what you know already about any of this, about Wim Hof, if anything, or is that just a totally foreign word for you? And that's absolutely understandable because it was for me. About your own breathing. What is your experience with your own breathing, contact with your breathing? I'd love to hear something from you guys to just kind of go around the circle here. What's brought you here tonight? What's brought you here tonight? So I don't know how to go around the circle with a video thing. Usually I'm in the room and I'm pointing at people.
Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll ask you to put something in the chat, say I know something. In fact, we've got a couple people who are popping on that they're just curious. They're like me. I've read it and I've seen the videos, but I've never done any of this. Yeah. So I think you've got a lot of newbies, but I do know Donna has been doing it for 5 days now. Yeah, many people have not heard of it. Bob, if you want to, are you able to get yourself off a chair so you can be the
yes, of course. Yes, this is my AV. Let me see. Stop share. Here we go. Stop share. And then go on
yeah, there we go.
Oh, there
she is.
Hello. Sorry about that.
Hi.
This is why AV is not my specialty.
You're doing great. You're doing
there we go. Okay.
Great.
Am I there?
Yeah. I'm going to make you a speaker now. There you go.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Right. Let's see. Right now I see. Okay.
Yeah, everybody that I know, new to me. If Donna's available, feel free to pipe in and tell people your experience since you've been starting. She might have.
Okay. Do you want me to do that right now?
Sure. Yes, please.
Oh, okay. I just discovered Wim Hof, just happened across it on YouTube, listening to him do a guided breathing with someone else. And I know like my breathing is terribly shallow. And so I just decided to give it a try, and I've been doing it for 5 days. And some days I've done it twice a day, some days just one. But I can already tell a difference in my mental health. before, you know, I would just be wanting to be on a screen all the time. Now, like, I can't be on a screen all the time. Like, I literally couldn't if I wanted to. I went for an hour walk and it really didn't faze me too much, which normally I would have been completely out of breath. And I'm not in shape at all, but it was just, and then also I had, before I did my first, I've done 2 15-second cold showers. And before my first one, I had a headache. And when I got out, I didn't have a headache anymore and it was gone for the rest of the day. So I'm just getting started and I'm really interested to learn more, but I've seen results very quickly just from YouTube and just from, you know, doing the tips and things I've seen on there. So I'm very happy with it.
Cool. That's cool.
Good.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
and
Donna.
I see several people who said in the chat they haven't heard of WIM. So I'll give you a quick overview of WIM in a moment. But does anyone else have a thought on just your experience with your breath, with your breathing? If
Hi,
not
this is
WIM?
Claudia, and I'm asthmatic. And so that's another reason why this intrigued me. But there was a time in my life when I was in very good shape. I was in the service. I was running every day. And so I'm aware of when, you know, breathing can really help and expand not only your lungs, but how you feel. So
Absolutely.
Thank
Yep.
I want to get back there. Not running though.
Right. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Anybody else with your what's brought you here tonight?
Yeah,
I'm
what are
still
you
curious, even if you haven't heard of WIM, even if you've never heard of Wim Hof, what's brought you here tonight is a question.
This is Alfie. So one of the things that intrigued me was one of the acupuncturists I see, he's really been big on the ice baths and the ice showers and the cold showers. So my husband and I have kind of played with it on and off. And, you know, it's nice, but I've never been consistent. So I really wanted to learn more about it. And the breathing is just a huge plus on top of it. I think I'm a very shallow breather. I do tend to get anxiety, I guess, or stress related, nervous related type issues sometimes. And so I think if kind of coupling that together would be really beneficial. So I'm just excited to learn more about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing, Alfie.
Yeah, thank you. Anyone else with what's brought you here tonight in general? What are you curious about?
Nikki, hey, go for it.
Nikki.
Sally brought me here.
Cool.
My dear friend Sally,
That's really
who's introducing new things to me in my life and is expanding my education and my experience. And so I'm thirsty for knowledge, curious, and I'm studying breath in other areas. And so I want to know what you have to offer. And I've heard something about ice showers and ice baths, and I thought, ooh, you gotta go a long ways to convince me.
Yeah. Nikki, what other breath modalities have you looked at?
Oh, it's one up on Mind Valley. I just got involved in, and I don't remember his name. It's very meditative.
Right. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
Cool.
That's yes, very much so. Okay. Well, let me just give you a quick story on WIM. I'm gonna go back to my thing here for a moment. Whatever you call it. This is Wim Hof. Okay. So if you've not seen the person before, he's this. They call him the Iceman. He's Dutch. He's got lots of records for like climbing Kilimanjaro without just in his shorts and boots without any oxygen. So he's got lots of he's an extreme athlete, and which has, he did all these crazy things. He ran in the Namib desert with did a full marathon with unsupported without any water. And he's swum under under ice sheets, like 100 meters under ice sheets without on a single breath. He's got like 20 something Guinness World Records for endurance and crazy stuff, but he did it to bring attention from the science world to show that you could control yourself under hard circumstances with your breathing, and that we have a greater potential than we think we do. So as you were just, we're all living in our rooms in our houses right now in 68 to 72 degree temperatures. It's getting colder out, and we think, oh my gosh, I got to bundle up and stay inside. I'm cold, right? And today is not the day to necessarily change all your habits, but I'm here to give you the message that we evolved every generation prior to about, maybe 6 or 7 before us, evolved for millions of years without control over their climate. They were hot, they were cold, they survived. You wouldn't be here if they hadn't. So they did, and they survived in conditions that were harder. And that's our natural, that is our birthright, to be able to survive in a wider range. So your comfort zone can be small, or your comfort zone can be big. And by doing things that are a little bit challenging, just like 4% over your comfort zone level, you can begin to expand. It's like blowing a balloon up. So it gets a little bit bigger, and then your comfort zone's bigger, and you're like, wait a minute, I'm okay at 40 degrees or 50 degrees or whatever. I'm okay at maybe a high temperature too. And I'm okay if I'm, if it's really humid or it's not very humid, all these things, or just with the stressors of life. You're sitting in traffic, people are blowing their horn, you're still okay, because you know how to contact your own self-control. So Wim set himself as like the guinea pig and said, okay, science, come look at me. And they did experiments. They injected him with endotoxin, and he, out of 30,000 people, every single one of them had a fever reaction and gotten uncomfortable and felt awful for hours. And then he used his breathing, and he didn't have that reaction. And then he trained a group of 12 other random people, pretty much, in 4 days to also do the same thing and control their inflammatory response to the stressor that we didn't think we had control over, using using their breath. And that's in a double-blind PNAS study. And so Wim his work is under study in like 6 different places in the world. And if you've ever tried to get a scientific study on yourself, good luck, because there's not that kind of money usually. So the fact that what he's doing is so remarkable has gathered that kind of attention, and the science books are being rewritten about what the autonomic nervous system actually is. Has gotten a lot. So there's a lot of science behind his work, and he continues to drive the science, which is part of what really attracted me. We are all just chemical factories and biological factories, and everything that we feel is chemistry. We can affect this with our breathing. Your breathing changes that. So that's Wim. And let's see if I can go on to my next. Okay, quickly, what the Wim Hof method itself is, it's a mixture of 3 things: is breathing, cold, and mindset. We're going to experience the breathing and the mindset side. I'm not doing the cold tonight, but I'm going to take you guys through a few rounds of the Wim Hof breathing. Experience it. Feeling it is far better than talking about it. We can talk all night. We're going to feel it. And once you feel it, then you'll have a better understanding. So that's what we're going to do. And so given that we're going to take about, this breathing will take about 15 minutes or so. So we're going to begin soon. And I'm going to give you a quick overview of what we're doing here. So, and some safety disclaimers first, though. Very important. Anytime you do breathing work, you're doing things with your blood chemistry. So we always have to make these disclaimers. So if you are pregnant, can't do it. If you have seizures, can't do it, because this induces, a hypoxic feeling. So you don't want to play with those things. If you have significant cardiovascular issues, always talk to a medical professional first. I have to say that. Important. What we're going to do tonight, I want you to be in a safe environment, that's seated or lying down. And I'm going to say lying down, because I don't want anybody not lying down, like, falling over or anything. So just lying down is great, on your back. We'll get to that in a moment. Not while you're driving. I'm assuming no one here is driving right now. If you are, don't do this. Or while in your water, don't combine holding your breath or doing this kind of stuff with water at all, period. So those are the important disclaimers, okay? So this is the process itself. oops, I forgot. I have to ask you guys what the safety tips are because I need to know that you were actually listening. So can someone tell me what some of those safety tips were that I just gave you? Tell me.
Don't be driving.
Good one.
Lay down.
Lay down.
Don't be in the water.
Don't get in the water.
Not while you're pregnant.
Don't be pregnant. Okay. Not while you're pregnant.
Epileptic.
We have some great listeners.
Epileptic. You said if there was epileptic or something?
Yes,
yeah.
yes. If you have seizures, correct.
Yeah,
Thank you, Pat. Good
Yes.
job.
Yes, yes. Okay, that's really, I just wanted to make sure we really covered those. All right, so this is what the Wim Hof breathing is. It's 30 to 40 breaths and fully in through the nose and letting go with no force. So, and we'll demonstrate, we'll practice this in a moment, but it's just, and you let go, you don't force it out. You don't go, it's not a blow, it's a let go. You're just letting go. And we'll do about 30 or 40 of those, and I'll be your metronome, I'll count. And then I'll say, fully in, let go, hold. And when I say hold, you're just gonna hold on the exhale. Just hold your breath for as long as you feel comfortable and just hold and see how that feels and just let that feeling be. And when you feel like you do need to breathe, you just breathe in. And again, when you breathe in, if you would like to, you can hold for like a few more seconds, 15 seconds, and just, sometimes I say squeeze a little bit, but it doesn't really matter. It's just reoxygenating. And then that's one round. And we'll do one round, see how that one goes. And then we'll check in. And if it feels right, we'll do another one, see how people are doing. So we'll take it one round at a time and see how you guys are. But the idea here is to put you in touch with your breathing. So, and here, I have one more thing to show you, I think. Oh, right. So the sequence really, if you feel it, if you envision this, it's a breath that goes belly, chest, and when we say head, obviously you can't expand your head, but the idea is just to fully get air in and then just let go. And that's the sequence. And these are some expectations. So you might feel lightheaded, you might feel tingly, your ears might kind of get ringy, you feel like you got to swallow. These are all normal feelings. You might get, like we call T-Rex arms, like a little bit of crampiness. You might feel a little bit chilly. So, you can put yourself under a blanket if you want. You might feel like you want to yawn, or emotions might come up. Remember that you're always in control. The most important thing is that you're in control. And relax. And I'll be telling you that, just relax as you're doing the breath hold. I'll just say relax. Because it's so much is about just self-control and calming yourself. So you're in control the whole time, and your off switch is to go back to normal breathing. Whenever you choose, just go back to normal breathing and you're good. So that's always, the customer is always right and your body is always right. And so you are always in control of whatever you're doing here. So if it doesn't feel right to you, just go back to normal breathing and we'll come back around. So that's the process. And so if you guys are ready, I think we'll just move into it. So if everybody can do this, if you're on camera, I guess I'd rather be able to see you if I could. I'd like to be able to see you because I like to see people. But if you're not on camera, then please put yourself in a lying down place because I want to see that you're lying down. And just get yourself comfortable. You can lie down with your knees up if you want to kind of flatten your back out on the ground so that you're got a nice flat, your back has a lot of space for breathing. And we'll get started in a moment. If everybody puts themselves wherever they want to be, I will then start. So everybody get comfortable.
While you're doing that, Bob, what's the swallowing on this?
Well, you might feel like you need to swallow. It's just another.
It's not like
reflex.
you can't swallow.
No. You might feel
Okay.
you want to. These are all things you might feel.
Okay.
Yeah. You might just feel, but
Yeah.
it's very normal. Okay, so if everybody's, and Sally, you're welcome to join us on this.
I'm excited. I have not done this ever before, so this is really cool for me.
Yes, well then, then please, you're gonna be laying down though, right?
No, I'm sitting. I've got armchair. I'm good.
I would prefer if you're laying down.
Really?
Yes,
Okay.
really, truly. I really would. I would much rather.
I'll lay down.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep. When I start out, I really want people laying down because that way you can't fall off of anything.
Sorry.
You can't fall off the ground. That's important. So let's begin. First of all, if everyone's lying down, I'm going to ask you to simply begin to pay attention. I'm going to ask you to begin to just simply pay attention to your breath and begin by noticing the breath. And I'm going to ask you to breathing in and out. We're going to start with your nose and just begin to notice the breath coming in through your nose. Your whole job is just noticing your breath. So just noticing your breath as it comes in and it goes out, and noticing the slightly cooler air as it enters your nose and the slightly warmer air as it leaves your nose. And just bringing your attention to that sensation, just the sensation of the air coming in and going out. And your whole job right now is just to breathe, just breathing in, breathing out, just bringing your attention to that feeling. Bringing your attention to that feeling, just the breathing in, slightly cooler air coming in, slightly warmer air as it goes out. And just noticing that. And you can even bring your attention right to the tip of your nose, just the tip of your nose, bringing all your attention right there. And all we're doing here, this is just called conscious breathing. You're just simply noticing your breath. There's no changing anything. You're just noticing it. Just noticing the air as it's coming in, noticing the air as it's going out. And this is really the rhythm of life right here in your breath. Every breath that you take is life, and you're feeling it, and you're noticing it. It's right there, coming in and going out. And this is simply conscious breathing. So everyone's got some awareness of their breath now. And so now we're going to begin to deepen our breath just a little bit. And I'm going to ask you to start just by taking a deeper breath in and letting go out your mouth. And just deep it through your nose and just letting go. And just breathing in and letting go. In and letting go. And I'm just a metronome. You go at your own speed. Whatever speed works for you. Just in through your nose and letting go. And in and letting go. And we're just going in and letting go. In through your nose, out through your mouth, and just letting go. We're just going a little more deeply in and letting go. A little more deeply in and letting go. Just a little more deeply in and letting go. Just a little more. Just keep going like this. Just go belly, chest, head, and letting go. Belly, chest, head, and letting go. And belly, chest, head, and letting go. Belly, chest, head, letting go. Just in and letting go. And in and letting go. And in and letting go. And we'll go 10 more. In and letting go. 9 more. In and letting go. 8 more, in and letting go. And 7 more. And 6 more. And 5 more. And 4 more. And 3 more. And 2 more. And 1 more. And last one, fully in. Let go and hold.
Well, I am
And
taking a
just
class.
hold
It's
until you, and just hold until you feel like you need to breathe, but you no need to breathe until you feel that. Just hold and relax. And just relax.
We're coming.
Relax.
30 to 40 minutes. It just really makes you relax. Oh, of course not. Go back to your class. You didn't know. Sure, I'll go back and I will call you. I'll call you when it's over. Okay.
All right. Okay.
Okay. Bye.
And just holding and relaxing. And when you do feel the need to breathe, just breathe in and hold for about 15 seconds. Maybe a little squeeze. Maybe just a little bit. And then and let's check in before we go on to the next round. And I don't know, Sally, if you can unmute folks. I just want to find out how everyone's doing. So if anyone, any questions at all after that first round? We just kind of got started.
It was fun.
Oh, good.
Yeah, no, this is Andrew Weil from years ago. Take 3 deep breaths, hold it, and then breathe out to release stress. That's what it was reminding me of, only this is on steroids.
Yes. Any other questions or thoughts before we roll into rounds 2 and 3? Okay, well, let's keep going, man. All right, so back where you were. We're gonna keep going. That's only round 1. We're gonna ramp it up a little bit on each round as you get more familiar with the feeling. We're gonna intensify a little bit. Okay, you're always in control. If it doesn't feel right, go back to normal breathing. Okay, but I'm gonna move you a little bit faster. Okay, so we're gonna go into round 2. Here we go. So I'm gonna say fully in through the nose, fully in, and let go, and fully in. And let go. And fully in. And let go. And fully in. And fully in. And let go. And in through your nose, out through your mouth. In and out. Belly, chest, head. Fully in. Letting go. Fully in. Letting go. Fully in. Letting go. Belly, chest, head. Belly, chest, head. Keep going. Keep going. In and out. And in. And out. And in. And out. And fully in. And out. And fully in. And letting go. You guys are doing great. You got it. Belly, chest, head. And letting go. In and out. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Full in. and letting go. And we'll go 10 more. 9 more. 8 more. 7 more. 6 more. 5 more. 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. Last one, fully in. Let go. Hold. No need to breathe. Just go into the feeling. Witness the feeling and relax. Just relax around your mouth. Relax your throat. Relax your belly. Relax your neck. Relax your eyes. And trust. And just trust. Your body has what it needs right now. And you are changing the chemistry of your body, your alchemy. You're getting stronger and more resilient and energizing every cell of your body right now. Just feel the power and the energy in your body. It's there. And when you feel the need to, breathe in, hold for about 10, 15 seconds and squeeze a little bit. And then let go. And that's round 2. And we're going to go to round 3. We're going to complete 3 rounds and then we'll stop and talk about this. So here goes round 3. Wherever you are, here we go. Fully in and let go. Fully in and let go. And fully in. In and out. Fully in. And let go. In through your nose and out through your mouth. And in and out. Belly, chest, head, and letting go. Belly, chest, head, and letting go. Fully in and letting go. Just filling up like a balloon and letting go like a balloon and letting go. Taking it in and letting it go. You're in control. Just charging up. Just bringing in some power. Feeling the power. Fully in and letting go. In and out. In and out. Belly, chest, head. Belly, chest, head. You're doing great. You really got this. Fully in. Letting go. Just taking in that power. And just letting go. Just letting go. Just letting go. And just letting go. Fully in. And we'll go 10 more. 9 more. 8 more. 7 more. 6 more. 5 more. 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. Last one. Fully in. Let go and hold. And just hold. And relax. Relax everything. Relax your mouth and your throat and your belly Relax your eyes and your face. Relax your mind. Relax everything and go into the feelings. Witness and trust. You're strong. You're building resilience. You are putting energy into every cell. Every dark corner of your body is getting power right now through changing your chemistry and getting more resilient and oxygenating every cell, every tissue. Just letting that be and letting that go. Continue to relax and trust and relax. And when you feel the need to, breathe in and hold and squeeze just for a few seconds. And then let go. We're going to sit in silence for 1 minute and just let the buzz and the peace ride through your body right now. Now, very slowly, as you begin to become aware again of the sounds, and you become aware again of the light, maybe the smells, your surroundings, this floor, this room, this light, this mat you're lying on, your hands, your fingers, your toes, as you start to become back into your body, into your breath, start to come back into yourself, start to wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, flutter your eyes open, bring yourself back very gently, very calmly into a seated position, and just looking around, taking in your surroundings, gently coming back up. And I would love to see everybody on their camera, if that is possible. If you're there, I would love to see everybody, see how you guys are doing. And this is awesome. Here we go. All right, people showing up. I love it. Good. Here we go. I see human beings. That's what we are. Let's all see each other for a second here, right? That's what we're here for. Otherwise, we could be doing anything. You could do anything with your hour. You just came here to do some crazy breathing with this dude. What's going on here? What is this? This is madness.
We'll all be crazy.
Oh, it's awesome. You're crazy about life, right?
Right.
That's what it's about, man. Okay, so how was that?
Wow.
Wow.
Lightheaded. I felt lightheaded. It was really wild.
Can you
Yeah, I felt tingly.
Tingly.
I'm sorry, excuse me, Bob, can you come off screen share so we can see everybody just a little bit?
Oh, am I still on the share again? Am I doing that again? See, this is what I do. Oh my God.
No, that's my
There we
job.
go. We're back.
I'm not sure how to I'm not
That's
sure how to
better.
like show a video or put my face on there. I've never done this
It comes
before.
up when you talk. It's okay.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was amazed at by the third round how long I could hold my breath down.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you said it was okay to breathe, I had already done it a couple times.
Wow.
It's beautiful.
Sure.
That's perfect. Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
But that's hard work, breathing breathing like that fast and deep.
Yes, absolutely. Anybody else?
Yes, can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It was relaxing for me. I almost fell asleep a couple times.
All right. That's good. You need it then. You need to sleep.
Yeah, of course. I think like Elizabeth, was it Elizabeth? I think she said something. I noticed that when I was, when you said to breathe and just hold the breath place and you don't, just relax it until you get ready to breathe again. I know, I'm like, well, God, when are you going to start breathing, man? I mean, it was like a long time. I was like, what?
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's almost, I was like that. I was almost like I didn't want to start breathing again. And I tend to do that. And I've been in other situations where it's like, oh my God, I've forgotten to breathe. So tell me a little bit more about that if you could.
Absolutely. So what we just did was we blew off your carbon dioxide by hyperventilation, so here's the big secret. Why do you breathe?
Bob, I think I muted you, Bob. Hold on.
Oh, there I go. I'm back.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Yeah, I just noticed that. So the question was, why do you breathe? What's the trigger for breathing? Most people will say to get air. Well, that's not the case. You breathe because you build up carbon dioxide. When you reach a level of carbon dioxide, you have to breathe. Your trigger for breathing is carbon dioxide in your body. That is why you breathe. You have enough oxygen right now in your body at this very moment. If you didn't take another breath for 10 minutes, you'd be fine. Your body has enough oxygen. You don't need more oxygen. Your blood level of oxygen is usually about 99%. So you don't need more. You have enough for a long time, but you're going to breathe because you build up carbon dioxide about every 15 or 20 seconds, and then you have to get rid of some of it. It's not a waste gas though, but that's the trigger for breathing. So the more carbon dioxide that you can tolerate, the slower your breathing will become, and the lighter your breathing will become, and the more deep your breathing will become. So we just got rid of your carbon dioxide, and that is the trigger for breathing. So your carbon dioxide started really low because you blew it off, and then it took a long time to come back up to the point where it would trigger you to breathe. So we did a lot of, which took your CO2 way low, and it comes up, and then finally you get the trigger to breathe, but it's much later than usual. So usually you get that trigger in 20 seconds, you get the trigger in a minute, or maybe a minute and a half, or maybe 2 minutes. And then you breathe. So that is I call it a party trick, but there's a lot of physiology going on here. You're also inducing a very strong adrenaline response because you become hypoxic. So your oxygen level is going down at the same time as your carbon dioxide is going up because you're not breathing. So your oxygen's going down, and your body's saying, holy shit. And literally, and it's sending off your adrenaline skyrockets. You have the same adrenaline as somebody going on a bungee jump for the first time, as one would say. Now, the difference is you managed it. That's the difference. Here's where you made the difference. Your mindset, your decision to stay calm under that difficult circumstance and to stay in control was what made the difference. If someone just filled you with that much adrenaline, you would feel crazy, but you decided what to do. Your own mind can control these things. So you can be in control in a difficult circumstance. You just made yourself hypoxic, and you controlled it, and you built up all this adrenaline and you controlled it. This is the beginning of taking control of your nervous system. So your breathing is the remote control of your nervous system. And actually, adrenaline is the master reset switch for your hormones. So if you, like when a computer, if you have all your screens up on your computer and your memory is just shot, sometimes you have to turn the computer off. That's adrenaline. Adrenaline is turning off the computer, and then everything comes back online the way it should. So it's a reset for all the hormones, all the things, because when you have adrenaline going, nothing else matters. It doesn't matter about reproduction or body temperature for that matter, or even bleeding. When you're in fight flight, that takes precedence over everything else. And then as you come back in control, things restack correctly again. So that's really the therapeutic purpose behind this breathing, is to put you in touch with your nervous system. And so you end up in this buzzy but controlled and calm state. It sounds contradictory, but you just felt it. And that's why talking about this all day, you got to feel it and you understand it. And this is your own body's capability. This is not magic. This is your own birthright. You have this in you. This isn't, I call it a party trick. And my wife will say, hon, don't call it a party trick. People will think it's cheap. It's okay. Because it is a thing. It's cool. Just because it's a thing that is in our body doesn't cheapen it at all, actually. It means it's amazingly powerful. You have amazing power in your body. And we just want to tap into that. Right, carbon dioxide is your trigger for breathing. You have enough oxygen in your body for a long, long time. Breathing is the remote control of your nervous system. Let's see, what else am I forgetting there? You're always in control, huge, and you control your state with your breathing. So, and a full breath is not a big breath, by the way, although we were just doing big breathing. Yes, Sally, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I do have to interrupt. We're coming up on the top of the hour.
We are. Yeah.
I know that I know people are going to want to hear everything you have to say, but there may also be some people who need to hop off. We want to give them permission, but I also wanted to, before we do that, I wanted you to share with everyone so that they can write down if they have to leave, how to get in touch with you. Sure.
Yeah.
To answer more questions or have a one-on-one with you.
Yeah, well, Breathe Your Power is my company. It was on that one sheet that was at the beginning, but breatheyourpower.com, and you can find me. I'm on Instagram at Breathe Your Power.
And you've got trainings and everything coming up.
I do Wim Hof workshops. I'm doing one on Saturday in Alexandria at the Loop on 215 North Payne, but that one's filled. I do Buteyko functional breathing training, and that is designed originally for asthmatics, actually, but that's for performance and nervous. It's breathing in accordance with your metabolic needs. That's actually what Buteyko is. Most people overbreathe. Most of us breathe too fast, too shallow, up in our chest, and we don't use our diaphragm, and we hyperventilate consistently. Sleep apnea, crooked teeth, mouth breathing, snoring, all that stuff. I bring it together. So Wim Hof is for like managing stressful situations, and then Buteyko and functional breathing is for the 99.5% of the rest of your life, normal breathing. So Wim Hof is not how you should be breathing normally. This is to have a therapeutic effect. Buteyko and functional breathing, which we could cover at a different time, is it's also incredibly powerful, and it's the foundation for how you should actually breathe day to day. And it's calmer, slower breathing. Here's the goal for breathing in your life. Do this and you don't need anybody. Breathe 6 breaths per minute, always through your nose, and you're done. If you can do those 2 things, you got it, man, because that's the whole thing. That's health right there. 6 breaths per minute, nasal all the time, even during workouts. Bingo.
You're good to go.
Yeah, you're good to go. There's like 4 people on earth that can do that. But that's the goal, physiologically, and my goal. I train you in that direction. We like tape your mouth. We don't tape your mouth. You tape your mouth.
Right. You can always pull it off.
Of course.
Listen, and I also thank you. So don't
Yeah.
leave anybody if you can hang on. But if you do like this, I host these invitations to people, and Bob may be a guest again if you guys want to hear about Buteyko breathing. But every Tuesday, the second and fourth Thursday of every month, we have a guest speaker. And next week, since it's the holiday season, next Thursday, I'll be hosting the Manifestation 101. So if that interests you, please go to yourblissfuljourney.com/manifestation. You can learn more about that. All right. Well, thank you so much. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much. This is just, as I say, every time I do this, this is my candy. I get to do this. This is just a party for me. I get to throw a party for myself.
So can I ask a question?
Yeah, questions, please.
Please, yeah, I have time.
So like if you have anxiety, you feel an anxiety coming on, do you do like one round of, 30 breaths to help calm you slowly?
It can. It depends on your circumstances. If you're so for anxiety, actually, cadence breathing is really the most effective breaker of anxiety. Cadence breathing means breathing in a rhythm, and it's typically a pretty calm rhythm. So I would not recommend Wim Hof breathing if you're feeling anxious. Unless you have really good contact with your breath already. But if you're just beginning, if it's the one tool I'm going to give you for anxiety, I'm going to tell you to do box breathing or something like, well, actually box is what people know. I would say, I call it cadence breathing, which just means I would give you what I call 5s and 2s actually, which is just 2 normal breaths and then exhale, hold for 5 seconds, 2 normal breaths, exhale, hold for 5 seconds, 2 normal breaths, hold, exhale, hold for 5 seconds, and just keep going around that circle. And that, your brain has a pattern recognition system in it, looking for a pattern. If it finds a pattern, it calms down. When it doesn't have a pattern, if your brain, the medulla notices your breathing's like, it feels, so stress and heavy breathing, stress and heavy breathing, stress and heavy breathing. If you want to break that cycle, break it with the breathing. You're not going to break the stress part. You're going to break the heavy breathing and just bring it down to a calm, more steady breathing. And then the stress part doesn't happen. And it takes probably about a minute of that sort of cadence breathing. And that, if you're aware of what's called heart rate variability, heart rate variability is the measure, really the best index of the state of your nervous system. So your heart is supposed to vary with every breath, with every inhale, every exhale. With every moment, it's supposed to subtly change. It has multiple frequencies. And so the variability of your heart indicates how well you can respond to your environment. And when your heart rate, when you breathe, when you cadence breathe, your heart rate variability increases. That means that your nervous system is more able to nimbly adjust to the circumstances that are coming at you, stress or relaxation. So if you want to increase how controlled you feel, then cadence breathing is really the best first step in breaking that cycle. There are other things to do, but if I was going to give you one thing to do, cadence breathing is the one thing I would do. Wim Hof breathing is fun, but when I started, it used to make me jump out of my skin for the first few weeks. I was like, ah, but I was also driving myself really hard. So I want, for you guys, I wanted you to have a more subtle experience of it. But I would not recommend hard breathing to somebody who is feeling stressed out because it typically doesn't actually calm you down immediately. So I wouldn't start there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I chime in? Yeah, so I did one of Bob's classes in September of last year. So it's been about 15 months, I guess. And what I found, my experience over that time period is, this is a training thing. You're training your body to actually be able to metabolize and deal with stress through your breath. And so now I found through experience, it's not kind of like in the moment when I, have stress or anxiety, but like yesterday morning, I had a big presentation I had to do through Zoom. So I get up in the morning and I do my Wim Hof breathing, and it takes me through this nervous system reset, and I feel great. And so by 7:30 in the morning, I've kind of like, I've taken my body through, this intense adrenaline and then relaxation, and now I'm good to go for the day, right? So it's training. And then, I would just second what Bob was saying, like in the moment when you're feeling stressed, then there's different breathing techniques, that can help you sort of clutch in, using a diaphragm to clutch into what's going on in your monkey brain.
Yes.
And so anyway, Bob's had me in the ice several times.
Steve assisted a lot of my workshops. He'll be here on Saturday, right?
On Saturday, yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
man.
so we'll see. And
yeah.
Last workshop we did 3-minute sessions in the ice, and that's the hardest thing I've ever done. The third time, I mean, this is really where the breathing, like you're in panic, like I want to get out of this. This is painful.
Yeah.
But Bob is there, he's guiding us, we're breathing, and you get through this incredibly intensely difficult thing with your breath and Bob's guidance. So look up his workshops. I think they're amazing.
Yeah, you can all do it. We can all do it. There's nothing special either. We can all do it, but you got to begin where you are, and you always have to feel in control. I think there's a sort of a culture of, kick your ass and, go over your limits. That's not the idea. The idea is to stay in to stay in touch with your feelings, actually. And if you trust your feelings, you're going to be fine. What's amazing is that when you contact those feelings, you're actually stronger than you think you are. So it has nothing to do with freaking yourself out. It has to do with reassuring yourself. And then it's amazing. The Navy SEALs, so I'm also working with Trident CrossFit. They have a mindset program. Steve's doing it, right? You're doing the mindset.
I'm doing that too.
Yeah, Trident mindset. So I did a whole breath work thing with them too. I love that with the most hard-ass tier 1 operators, meditation and staying calm are like the key pieces of their training. It's not about how to really, really hurt somebody. It's about staying calm and in touch with your breath, which allows them to operate at the highest levels. And that's also your advantage as an athlete, or as a parent, or as a professional, a teacher, a lawyer, a therapist, and anybody who's stuck in something that's repetitive. And how do you stay present when you're, in something that you're like, I don't want to do this again. I don't want to do this again. Here I go. So what brings you back to yourself? Your breath. One breath. One breath. All you have is right now. There is no future. There is no past. Your past is back there. All you have is this moment. The future's, right? So they don't exist. You never get there. You can't go to either one. All you have is this moment. So stay with your breath. Your breath will hold you in the moment. If I, have one thing to tell you, that's the thing. It's a constant practice for me. It's a constant practice for anybody. But if there's not a whole lot else that will keep you, in the present moment, your breath will do that for you. Right. Even just like I said, start with one breath, just one. And that's what Eckhart Tolle will do. He'll have you just take one breath, right? Just one. All you need is one.
Where you are.
Yes.
Love it. Just be okay with where you are. And know you want to get better.
Well, here's the question. How is it right now?
Yeah.
Really, right now, this very second, how is it?
Perfect.
Any problems? Anybody on fire? I don't look at it. It looks like everyone's okay. Well, then you're good. Right. Right? So, and the next moment might just be as good. So just keep going, man.
Yeah. May I ask one more question? And that would be for the people who want to work with somebody about their breathing, but don't necessarily have, maybe want to be in person. You've got awesome online programs, which is super, which I would suggest everybody check out. But does everybody who teaches, is it Boiteco and Wim Hof, do they think the way you think, or, are they as open to being easy as you?
Well, I don't know.
Everybody's different.
Yeah, everyone is different. Yeah, I can't really, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, there's a world. So I would say that the Wim Hof instructors around the country, each one is a really unique animal.
Okay.
And like some of them, like there's a woman up in Alberta. She's a glacial river surfer rather. She actually surfs in the glacial rivers.
Lovely.
I mean, she's just she's amazing. She's a Chinese white witch. You know, she's like she's just fantastic. So that's her. And then there's a dude in Texas who's a retired SWAT officer, who's also an amazing dancer, who is like the most entertaining human being you'll ever meet. So each one of us is its own animal.
But do they try does the Wim Hof method tend to be, it sounds like it is, a take all comers where you are, just like you said, begin where you are. Okay, that's kind of the main.
The heart is open.
Is a unique individual. I get.
This practice opens your heart. You can't I mean, it really does. That's the thing, that we all accept each other just as we are right now. And you will find that with every instructor. There's very little ego, because you won't get anywhere with your ego.
Yeah.
You have to get it out of there. You just have to throw it out. So, and so I've found them to be just an amazing community of people.
Excellent.
Yeah. The Buteyko people, if I can just, editorialize for a moment, they tend to be coming more from the therapeutic world. So some of them come in, like I've worked with some Buteyko people who already were trained in some other breath modality, and some of them are kind of rigid in their approach because they've been trained for so many years in one thing or another, which is not the intent behind Buteyko. Patrick McCune is trying to fix that now. He's just basically saying, open your damn heart. Listen to people.
Isn't that the base for everything, right? Lead with your heart.
Yes.
Heart Math Institute, support your brain with your heart and you're good to go.
Yes. So I can't say that all of Buteyko people are similar. The Oxygen Advantage people are mostly sports performance and MMA and jiu-jitsu types. But that's also, I train that too. And I train kids, I train teenagers. I just trained a 12-year-old. We had a blast. So not everyone's the same, but I don't know, we have fun.
Well, it sounds great. And it was good to hear Steve's story on it. So take on your classes.
Yeah. So, I mean, Breathe Your Power. Actually, my Instagram is the most accurate place to figure out what I'm doing, because I don't post. I have my own website, but it's like, oh my gosh, who posts anything on their website anymore, right? Put it on. It's like, you can't maintain all those platforms. So I really go with
Instagram is fast and easy, right?
Yeah, Instagram for me has turned out to be the best source. So that's where I am. Find me there. Yeah, guys, thank you.
I have a quick question.
Yes, Renee.
So you were about to say a full breath is not a deep breath.
Yes.
Can you explain that?
Yes. Well, a big breath is not a deep breath. A big breath, we've been trained, the whole thing with like the cleansing breath, and forgive me, anybody who's a yoga instructor, but so there's a woman out in, I want to get a book, if I can find my book, hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to dig it out of this pile. It's worth it, I think, if I can dig it out fast enough. No. Here it is.
Well, I think everybody had a good time.
Okay, this one. Sorry. Restoring Prana. This is by Robin Rothenberg. I don't know if you guys know her. She's a yoga therapist out in Fall City, near Seattle. And so when I did my Buteyko training with Patrick McCune, we were at her studio. And she has gone back to the ancient Vedic roots of yogic breathing and has determined that subtle, light, slow, deep breathing is where they were going with yoga. And then it got across the ocean, came into the United States somehow, and we started doing all this, frankly, even like the Ashtanga stuff where you're just sort of like, or the vinyasa where you're like a breath in, breath out. You shouldn't hear your breathing in yoga, is what because therapeutically, a light, slow, deep breath keeps your prana in. It doesn't blow it out. And so the deep, big breathing that we've come to associate with, you know, athleticism and effort, all it does is get rid of your carbon dioxide. It just gets rid of your carbon dioxide. And that then makes your body more tense. Your blood vessels tense up, your tubes in your lungs tense up. Now you're in more stress. So that does not allow you to relax your body and reach its potential. So our notions of athletic breathing, they're wrong. I mean, they're not even physiologically accurate. They can't be, because it doesn't work. So anyway, she really did the research, and it's quite a piece of work. And so I would just say a deep breath is into your diaphragm. It's into here, and if you can feel the ribs moving out to the sides, that's deep. Deep is into the depths of your lobes. Mm-hmm. It's not chest forward. Mm-hmm. It's not big. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Yeah, so that's one of the 3 pillars of Buteyko is the biomechanics, which is your diaphragm is connected to your nose, and you want to use as much of your breathing apparatus as you can. The bottom of the lungs are larger than the top, so you're missing a ton of surface area if you're breathing only in the top of your lungs. So yeah, that's yeah.
Thank you for bringing him back to that, Renee. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good answer. Good question.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Renee. Sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say, because I think you were saying full breath, or what was the word?
I probably said a full breath is not. A deep breath is. I'm not sure which.
Or when we were breathing, it was full breath, and so
Yes, I was saying fully in, let go.
Fully in. Okay, I wasn't sure if that meant really expand everything or
it does
not.
For this. So again, Wim Hof is not how you should breathe all the time. So you really are overdoing it.
Okay.
Yes, you're overdoing it on purpose.
Okay.
But every breath that you take right now should be a full breath. But that doesn't mean your body shouldn't arch back. It should just be your ribs should expand out to the side. That's a full normal breath.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the difference. It took a long time for me to get my head around this too. In fact, I had to feel it to understand it. Really, it's yeah, it's quite a concept. I'm sorry. So was it Alva?
Alfie.
Yeah, Alfie. Yep. So, is there a max number of times you should be doing the Wim Hof breathing, like in a week, or in a, what's the frequency that you recommend?
Well, I would say, so in one round of breathing, eventually it should come down to feeling. But if I'm going to give you a number to start with, I would say 30 breaths for each round. Mm-hmm. And do 3 rounds.
But then do it every day, or only as needed as a reset?
So if your goal is to sort of understand the Wim Hof method, I would say, 3 rounds each day. Unless you don't feel right about it, then don't. But but on a normal basis, I would say take a few weeks and do that. There's an app. There's a Wim Hof method app that will actually. You can, download it and it'll give you the program, and you can just do 3 rounds of breathing every day. But I will say ultimately the purpose is to feel. So ultimately you want to feel when you need this breathing, and you want to feel when you're charged up, when you want to feel when it's enough. And there are days when it's not right. So you want to learn to trust yourself. But I measured my own performance. I guess I don't have my notebook here, but I measured everything for about 6 months. For 6 months, I measured every breath hold. I measured everything, because coming out of CrossFit, I wanted to measure everything because I thought it mattered. And then I learned that the feeling is what matters. So ultimately, you want to take the training wheels off. But in the beginning, you do 3 rounds each day for I would say as a sample size, 3 times a day for 3 days. And if it's feeling right, keep going. Give that a sample size attempt, like today, tomorrow, the next day, see if that feels right to you. And if it does, continue. But there's no program that says it has to be this or this or this or this.
Okay. I was just curious if there was a max, like don't do it after. My next
quick question is, so after that, it was very relaxing, lots of pulsing I felt throughout the body, but it took a while for it to calm down. I mean, is that, so, I mean, what's the general experience or the expectation? Because it really, until now, I felt like I was still pulsating. And so just curious.
Well, yeah, you've done things electrically to your nervous system, and the adrenaline that you put in your body takes time to metabolize. So that's what you're feeling. And when you're hypoxic, then that takes time for your body to adjust to also. And we just did this was a semi-intense version, but you just did something your body's not used to. So it'd be sort of like going out, sitting in the cold. The first time you do it, after my workshops, I tell people, you're going to be tired, you're going to be thirsty. Your nervous system actually is metabolically very demanding. Your brain takes up 25% of your body's energy, right? Like 120 grams of glucose a day. So your nervous system just went, whoa. And so it's going to use up a lot of energy and a lot of even water, even though it was just your nervous system. It'll take time for it to, come back. It's a training thing. Anything that you do, the first time you do any kind of exercise or you hike, imagine if you hiked a mountain today and you hadn't hiked a mountain in years, your legs are going to be sore. So today we just did a little bit of an exercise, but yes, your nervous system is going to take some time to come back into itself. And I would go gentle. Yeah.
So basically, if I'm hearing you right and translating, you're squeezing the adrenaline out of the tissues and it's being released into your system. It was stored in the tissues. This is, making you more hyperactive and stressed. And once it gets into the tissues, your body can get rid of it. Is that?
Well, physiologically, how adrenaline travels, it comes out of your adrenal gland.
Right, it does. But where does it go? I mean, we're all living on cortisol and stress hormones right now. So I'm just thinking,
one thing that happens, Sally, is your cortisol is now much lower.
Okay.
That's another. Thank you for bringing that up. Is in the studies, cortisol has dropped significantly. It is a big reduction in that, and it also significantly reduces your interleukin 10, which is an inflammatory marker, and it significantly increases your IL-6s and IL-8s, which is anti-inflammatory.
Yeah.
Whatever that is. So those markers it's all in the studies.
Cool.
And so yes, so that's why for people that have they're studying Wim Hof breathing for MS, for Lyme, for manic depressive, I believe. Maybe I'm getting that one wrong. But for things that are inflammatory, it has a significant benefit.
Cool.
It seems. So,
cool.
But you are definitely doing things with adrenaline.
Right.
So it's a short-term hit.
Okay.
I guess it always is, but so it just does a reset. I mean, you're not sitting. But we don't usually have that much adrenaline coursing through our body.
Right, but I was just thinking maybe it gets stored in adipose tissue like toxins do. That's where my mind was going.
I don't know how we metabolize adrenaline. If that's the question, I'm not sure how we metabolize.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good question.
I'll have to look that one up.
Yeah. I don't know what happens to that stuff.
All right.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I think you could talk forever. And you have so many good stories and so many good pointers for us.
Yeah.
And I really want to thank everybody for.
Yeah.
If you have any further questions, please shoot Bob an email and Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram is the easiest one, but you can get me by email. I mean, my website does work, and there is an email address, and it's there, and you'll find it. So I'll respond to that. It's all good. It's fun.
Breathe your power.
Breathe your power. Yeah. And awesome. We'll have fun, man. Yeah. There's more coming, keep doing stuff. All right. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Everybody for
breathe on, man. All right.
Love you. Great participation. Love it.
All right.
Breathe in.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Bye now. Thank you so much, Bob. That was awesome.
Oh, you're welcome, Sally. This was just a blast.